Matthew chapter 24, verse 37. For the coming of the Son of Man, Jesus, will be just like the days of Noah. Jesus said that in the day of his second coming, those days would be like the days of Noah were. And then in the 2 verses following, he explains how those days were. For as in those days before the flood they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the very day when Noah entered the ark. And they did not know or understand until the flood came and swept them all away, so will the coming of the Son of Man be, unexpected judgment. In verse 38, it indicates that people in Noah's day were going about their daily lives business as usual, probably sneering at Noah, ridiculing him and ignoring his warnings. And in verse 39, the flood came unexpectedly and swept them all away, because they had ignored the signs and warnings, and were not prepared. Does that sound familiar? Probably because the same is happening today. Thus, since Jesus said that this is one of the signs of his return, we know that we are in the end times. Now, let's travel back to Noah's time in the book of Genesis to see in further detail how the people were. This is recorded in chapter 6 of Genesis. Following are some verses from that chapter. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. Does any of the things written in Genesis 6 concerning mankind's condition and actions sound familiar? It should, since the state of our world currently is the same as in the days of Noah. And, we are seeing evil occurrences more frequently and in a more violent nature. Which brings us to another point Jesus made concerning end-time signs. A woman in birth pains. As the woman draws nearer to the time of giving birth, her pains begin to be more frequent and more intense. The events currently are surely similar, occurring more frequently and more intense with greater violence. So, the point I'm trying to make is this: since we're living in the days similar to Noah's time and evil events are happening more frequently and with more intensity and violence, as a woman in birth pains, surely the time of the Lord's return is drawing near. Jesus told us that we would not know the day or the hour, but he did give us these signs to know his time is approaching. Will you be ready?